Hello, everyone. Hope you are doing well. Welcome to the second part of the series, Setting the Right Targets for IIM, where today we will be discussing about the VARC section. And I hope those who all had joined last week, some tips that I shared for the QA section would be have been helpful to you. And I hope that some of you might have given a couple of mocks in the last 1 week, and those tips would have come handy for you. Today, we will be following the same pattern. We will be discussing about the CAT pattern for VARC section that happened in 2019 and that happened in 2020. And then again, I'll be sharing some of my tips and my strategies. So I'll just share the screen. And trust me, this was one of the trickiest section because it was my weakest section out of the three. And in my first attempt, I could manage only around 80 percentile. And from that, I moved to above 90 percentile. And if I could do it, I think most of you will be able to do it. So now coming to 2019 CAT pattern, there were 100 questions as we discussed, out of which 26 were non-MCQ. In VARC section, there were 34 total questions, out of which 7 were MCQs and 27 were MCQs and 7 questions were non-MCQ, right? And the time allotted was 60 minutes. And the pattern for this, the difficulty level was, I would say, a bit difficult than the QA section. And someone wishing to score around 99 percentile in the VARC section would require at least 67 to 68 marks in this section. For 95 section, 95 percentile, I would say 52 marks were sufficient. This is my scorecard on the right hand side. I scored around 42.5, which was 91 percentile. And I would say someone who's not very good at VARC section as compared to other sections, this is a very good score, and you will be able to clear the cutoffs for all the prestigious MBA colleges. Now coming to the question paper, as you know, RC section is basically the dominant part in VARC, where 24 questions came from just reading comprehensions. There were 4 passages which had 5 questions each, and 1 passage which had 4 questions. And the difficulty level again was on the difficult side. While in the VA part, there were 4 para jumbles, 3 para summaries, and 3 odd one outs. And this was basically on the moderate part. And I would suggest that everyone would have, those who attempted the paper would have attempted all 10 questions out of this, or at least 8 or 9 questions. They were perfectly reasonable to do. Also, out of these 10 questions in the VA part, 7 questions were the TETA questions and they were non-MCQ. So there were no negative marking. So that's why I was saying that at least 8 or 9 questions were easily doable or were attempted by majority of the students. Now coming to the second CAT 2020 analysis. This is again, as we discussed in the last part, there were 76 questions in total, out of which 17 were non-MCQ. 20 in the VARC section, there were 26 questions, 21 were MCQ, and 5 were non-MCQ, and the time allotted was 40 minutes. The difficulty level this year was a bit easier as compared to the 2019 CAT exam. And for scoring 99 percentile, anyone scoring 45 marks or more than that would easily get that. And for 90 percentile, 30 plus marks were sufficient. So again, you can see here that 26 questions were in the VARC, which when multiplied by 3 will come out to be 78 marks, right? And scoring just 30 marks, which is attempting just 10 to 11 questions correctly, you would score 90 plus percentile. And as I said before, scoring 90 plus percentile will get you through all the top MBA colleges. sectional wise. Also, it's not that you have to score 90 percentile in just 90 percentile in all three sections. Obviously, one section would be your strongest, while one section would be your weakest out of the three. So taking into consideration, like my section VRC was not very good, but I still managed to get 91 percentile as compared to the previous 80 percentile. uh, so again, 10 questions. If you do it correctly, you would score 90 percentile marks in this. Now coming to the bifurcation of those 26 questions, 18 questions were from RC. So again, we can see similar to last year, around 70 to 75 percentage of the questions are from RC. So someone who wishes to get at least 90 percentile plus or is aiming for higher than 90 percentile, let's say 95 or 99. So you have to be very good at reading comprehensions. Coming to the second topic, which is VA, there were around just 8 questions, and the difficulty level, since it was easier than last year, so I would say it was again at the moderate level. And anyone who was okay with doing these 8 questions and did them correctly, I think majority of you would not even require to attempt all 4 passages, right? So these now, if you guys have any questions from 2019 or 2020 VARC section, we would be discussing that. You can just pop up your questions and I'll answer them. And then we will move on to the tips and strategies as to what I followed, as then what you all should try and replicate that in your mock exams and then in your final CAT exam. So we'll wait for a couple of minutes. If you guys have any question, please ask them. So I think as of now, we don't have any questions. So we will proceed with the tips and strategies for the VARC part. Uh, so this is what generally I followed, and obviously everyone will have their own pattern of studying. Everyone will have their own strengths. So someone who's very good at VA may not require to follow these. Someone who's not very good at VA, if he or she tries to follow this, maybe their score will increase in the upcoming mock and then in the CAT exam. So basically what everyone should do is at least try to complete 2 to 3 passages every day within 30 minutes, I would say. Take out 30 minutes of your entire day, sit and just do 2 to 3 complete passages. One passage basically is of 1 page. I don't think you should start, you'll have to read 2, 3, 4 pages, passages. So one page passage, 2 to 3 complete passages in 30 minutes. And then this will help you to stay focused for that amount of time and be able to solve that 3 complete passages in just 30 minutes, right? And then in the next another 30 minutes, I would say you should do at least 30 questions of VA so that you are able to do at least 1 question from the VA part per minute, which will help you when solving the main paper, because this is what I followed. Then I would say, obviously there are teachers and everyone recommends you to read newspapers, but what I followed basically was, since the exam is conducted on the online mode, and by the time I gave my second attempt, even ZAT and every other paper was conducted online. So I would recommend you to start reading news articles online on laptop rather than reading on your mobiles or tablets. So you get used to it, your speed increases, you are able to shuffle through the topics as per your like, and make sure, let's say you start with the topic that you like. So if my favorite topic is sports, so I would try to read more about sports. But usually what happens is the RCs that come are from sports, science, history, environment, physics, something very general and not very specific. So try to read and cover as many diverse topics as you can. Let's say for the first 7 days, you are reading your favorite topic, but then come start after 7 days, start reading from different topics. And science, history, environment are, I would suggest that these are three main important fields where at least out of these three, there will be two passages in the CAT exam every year. So if you are well used to reading these topics and solving questions, it will be very helpful and it will save a lot of time. Then for the mock tests, I did not recommend sectional exam tests in the quant part because you will be solving those when you are doing that chapter. But for VARC, I am recommending this, that you should solve at least two sectional mocks every week in the initial days, so that you are used to sitting for that 1 hour of just doing English, right? Someone who's not very good at that needs this practice, right? If I am good at quant or I am good at DILR, I would love to spend 3 hours, 4 hours on that, and I would keep this for the last part. And I'll try to solve as many questions from those sections, leaving this out. And this was a recommendation that was given to me by my professor, who was a maths teacher who taught me quant, right? And he said, Ki Anadi, leave this thing for 2 months, leave your quant for 2 months, and just focus on VARC. Read articles and solve as many sectional VARC questions and mocks as much you can for the next 1 or 2 month at least. Then, as I recommended in my last session also, that one full mock per week is required for the next 1 or 2 months if you have not started it. If you have already started it, then I would say to increase the number of mocks that you are given per week. And then again, for the last 2 to 3 days of your before your CAT exam, I would suggest that don't stress, just relax, read novels if you like reading them, read sports articles, read newspapers, read things that will help you to stay calm, that will help you to just relax your body and mind before the exam, as well as help you to stay focused on what that part will come in the CAT exam. Right now, what to do during the CAT exam, right? This is what I did, and this is what everyone can try, or some of you who are similar to me, who have their strengths in QA section or DILR section, and I'm not very good at VARC. So first of all, take 5 minutes out of that 1 hour and just shuffle through the entire section. Mark the questions where you have one passage starting and the same passage ending, because there are times when students get restless towards the end and they are not sure which question to do, where is the passage ending, where is the next passage starting. They start in between some question and then they can't find the link, right? So in your rough sheet, mark, let's say my first passage is from 1 to 5, then we have two VA questions, then another 6 and 7 are VA, so another passage is starting from 8 to 12, right? So make sure that you write it down. This will help you to go back whenever you require. Also, if you while reading, uh, you get an idea. If you read just a couple of lines, you will get an idea ki which topic it is from. Is it history? Is it science? If you get it, well and good. You can write that down as well. So because that will help you when you want to come back to these topics. What I did was After finishing my 5 minutes of shuffling through the entire section, I started with the VA part. Since I had those marked down, I jumped to those questions. I first took my 15 minutes to do the VA part, which were around 10 to 12 questions, as I mentioned. So within the first 20 minutes or 25 minutes, I was able to do 12 questions of VARC section. And as you saw, that around 14 or 15 questions, which is 45 marks, if you are scoring that, you are able to get more than 91 or 92 percentile, right? So I was able to, if even if I'm not able to do 100%, if my accuracy is just 80%, so out of 12, I'm still able to manage to do 8 or 9 questions correctly, right? And in the first 20 minutes, I have done 8 questions correctly. Now I have 40 minutes where I'll be just studying the passages. And I need not study all 5 passages, right? I just have to study the 3 passage, let's say, which I feel I am comfortable in, which I feel are easier, or the topics that I have prepared. So I'll go through these passages first. I'm not saying to leave the other 2 passages or the last passage, right? You start with the passage of your strength. Then from there, you go to the passage that you don't like till the end. So even if you don't have time for that last passage, you won't regret it. So let's say you take 10 minutes of reading the first passage, 10 minutes or 5 minutes of solving the questions, 10 minutes of reading. So similarly, in the 40 minutes you have remaining, you are easily able to do 3 passages of your strength, right? I hope this would be very helpful in your CAT exam preparation as well. And you can try these things. We have covered the quant section, we have covered the VARC section. And in these two, which is majorly your 70% of the paper, uh, these two will help you to improve your marks by at least 10 to 15% if you follow just these strategies and tips. Obviously, everyone does have their own strategies as what they wish to do. But I would suggest you just try these out since you have ample amount of time. If you start doing these, if you start reading newspapers or news articles online, it will improve your speed, right? Now we will be taking some questions from the students and we will wait. Then we can start a discussion. So whatever doubts you have, you can post them and we will be taking them. So guys, you can ask me your doubts from for VARC, whatever you have, and we will take them up. And so that it might be helpful. How to start solving RC? So Piyush, uh, it's a very good question. And I think this is something that I also learned over my 1 year of regret from CAT. Because in my first year, I did not bother about studying the comprehension part, especially. VA is something which is easier or which someone understands very simply when they are solving the questions. And it's not something which is boring or tiresome, right? So, yes, I mean to directly start reading or not. So that's what I'm saying. So first, as I said, you mark the topic that your RC is from. So let's say the topic is science, right? Once read the passage very slowly and understand it. So let's say first 6 minutes or 7 minutes, you are reading a passage. Uh, After that, once go through all the questions. Since the questions are from the same passage, go through all the questions. you will have 3 or 4 questions or 5 questions from that RC. Uh, you will get a hint that this question is from this part, this question is from this part, this question is from this part. Again, in the remaining, as I said, dedicate 10 minutes to reading. Again, in the next 3-4 minutes, again read the passage, and now this time mark those parts on a broader area where you think your answer is. In your rough sheet, mark the, let's say from passage 1, I have my answer for the second question. From passage 3, I have my answer from the first question. From the last paragraph, I have my answer for the second question, right? So then again, in the next 5 minutes, when you go back to solving those questions, now you know where to get your answer from. So is it the first para that you'll have to read again? Because by that time, you have already read the entire para twice. And now, while solving the question, you are again rereading it for the third time. And since it's a RC of your strength or your choice that you have chosen as compared to the other RCs that have come up, you would very easily be able to solve those questions. And it is not necessary or it is not compulsory to have to attempt all 5 questions of the same passage. There will be times when even though you understand the whole RC, but you are not able to find the questions, right? Mark those questions, come to them later if you have time, but try to solve the questions that you can directly see when you are reading the passage for the second time. I hope I have answered your question, right? Is it better to solve? So we have a question from Vivek. Is it better to solve RC at last compared to other questions? So Vivek, this is, as I said, this is what I did, and it is not a hard and fast rule that you should do it. Because what happens is when you are solving 3 or 4 RCs or 5 RCs, because if there are 34 questions, you forget the time, right? And by the time you reach the VA section part of the questions, and since the questions are already jumbled, it's not that for the first 24 questions you have all RC, then for the next 10 questions all VA. Many a times there are jumbled questions in between. So you won't be able to even read those questions that might have been very easily solvable as compared to the RC, right? So let's say you are on your fourth RC, you have completed 3 RCs, you are on your fourth RC. But by the time you have 3 or 4 minutes left, you have to reread the passage again, while you could have utilized that 10 minutes or 15 minutes of time for solving the VA part. So what I did was, first in the first 15 minutes, because you have practiced so much, it hardly takes 1 or 1.5 minutes to solve a VA question. So there are around 10, 11, 12 questions, which you will very easily be able to complete in less than 15 minutes. So now that 5 minutes of reading through the section, 15 minutes of doing the VA part, now you have entire 40 minutes to solve your RC. Yes, it is, and it is a major part of your complete section. But now the scoring part for me was the VA section, VA part of that VA RC section. So what I did was I completed my VA in the first 10-15 minutes, and then I went to RC. It is completely up to you, but I would suggest, since you have a lot of mock exams that you can give from now till the end, I would suggest to follow this strategy. Maybe in a couple of exams, you will see that your scores have improved, even though the difficulty level of exam has increased. Right? I hope I have solved your doubt, Vivek. Any other question, guys? So I think I have solved Vivek's question. I have solved Piyush's question. If you guys have any other questions, do let me know, and we can then take your questions and doubts. So we'll wait for a couple of minutes. If you guys have any questions, you can put them here, and then we'll just sum it up. And again, I will be coming next week where we will be discussing about the DI and LR section. And I will give you some tips and strategies on how to solve that, or how to be able to solve more questions than you were able to do it before, right? So Piyush has another question, that sometimes it happens that we are 90% sure, but we have a slight doubt in it. What do we do then? Yeah, since I was not very good at VRC, as I have stated a couple of times, and even in my first session, I said that uh, I was not very sure of the answers that I used to mark. 90% is a very good uh, assumption that you have if you are sure about that answer. I sometimes there are questions where you will be 50-50, right? So that's a chance that you have to take. If you think that you have already done 15 to 16 questions correctly, which is coming out to be 48 marks, and you are sure ki yaar, this is something will make sure that I have crossed my 90 percentile very easily. Scoring 41, 42, 43 marks every year will assure you, or let's say 45 marks will more or less assure you of the 90 percentile cutoff. So if you are sure that you have completed that part, you have attempted around 26 questions, 25 questions, and you are sure that out of those, 18 or 19 are correct, I would still say कि go for that 90 percentile percent doubt that you have and mark the answer. Obviously, it's not quant. Since I like doing the quant section, you are sure that the answer is correct or not. In many questions, you can put back the answer that you have got, let's say in the value of X, and you will see ki, yes, yeah, this answer is coming correct. But there's nothing of a surety that you will get in the VA section, according to me. But if you're 90% sure, I would say mark it and then move ahead, and don't think about ki, yaar, if I would have not attempted it, what would have happened, because you have already cleared that for 90 percentile mark. So I hope that I have again answered your doubt. If there are any other questions, do post them. We'll wait for 1 or 2 minutes, and then we'll sum it up, and then we can see uh, what will be coming ahead. Right. So I think we don't have any further questions from everyone. Uh, in the end, I would just like to say that as I have suggested some tips and strategies, so these were what I followed, and it helped me to increase my percentile, which was below 80 to above 91 percentile. And these tricks do help when you are giving your mock exams. And it's not like if your exam is tomorrow and you change your strategy, you have ample amount of time. You try these strategies in your next 2 or 3 mocks. If they don't settle with you very well, you can change it. You can rework on your strategies according to your strengths and weaknesses. But I am sure that these are something which everyone can try if you are good at VRC part, or you're not that great at that VRC part, and it will help you to increase your score, which is the final aim, right? You don't have to score 100% in your VARC or your quant or your DILR. It's about percentile, and we have seen that if you are even able to do 50% of the questions, which is 17 questions, That comes out to be 51 marks, which is more than 95 percentile, right? So focus on your strengths, try to solve those questions early, try to make sure that in your strength areas your accuracy rate is higher and you don't fumble there and you mark the wrong questions out of stress or panic. Take your time, even if you take 50 minutes in solving the first 20 questions. Don't panic. If you are sure that these 20 questions I have done absolutely correct, you can even rest for the next 10 minutes. This is what I suggested for quant section as well, because those breaks are very important to refresh your mind. Especially VARC is generally the first part in your question paper. So you are fresh. Take your time. Your speed is good. Try to complete your section or whatever you feel. Keep these many questions I have attempted and I'm sure about it. I'll try a couple of more. If I'm not able to do any other, I'll just relax. I'll take deep breaths and I will focus for the next part, which is in the CAT exam. So this is what you can do in your mocks. And I would recommend that everyone, anyone who has not even started giving mocks, to start giving mocks, whether it is sectional or whether it is complete mock. But do get a habit of sitting and solving one section in one go while doing those mocks. Don't take breaks between your mock exams that you have paused the mock exam. Try to complete and do these, complete your mock, whether it is sectional or whether it is full, in one sitting. And trust me, these strategies and tips actually help, right? I'll just check. Do 90% mark assures your entry in IIM? So Sanya, we have a late question from Sanya. Uh, First of all, yeah, can you be a bit more specific, as in 90% where? Is it your 10th? Is it your 12th? Is it your CAT exam or graduation? If you can be more specific about that, I think then I'll be able to answer it better. So just let me know. In CAT, uh, if you go and check the top percentile holder, which is 100 percentile, he would have also scored around 200 marks out of 300, right? Which is 66%, right? So even toppers don't score 90% marks in CAT. Uh, Clearing your sections, if you are saying 90 percentile in each section, will definitely help you to clear the cutoffs of various colleges. Generally for A, B, C, FMS or KLI or SPGen or any other college, generally it is 90 or 85 percentile for sectional, and then overall it is 90 or 95 for your complete overall CAT score. But entry into an IIM is not just based on CAT. CAT has now become one of the factors of getting a call, and then not just getting a call, going to the final round and clearing that college. So there are 10th marks involved, there are 12th marks involved, graduation marks, your stream, your work experience, whatever you have done, your WA that comes up, your interview, personal interview rounds that come up. So it is compiled of all these things. And every college does tell whatever they are looking for in a candidate, how they have differentiated, how they have categorized the percent of weightage for each and every part, which, whether it is 10th or 12th or graduation or CAT. So CAT is not the sole thing that decides your future. But yes, you do require a minimum percentile to clear that passage to get a call from IIM. So that's why I have recommended ki try to make sure that at least you are able to clear the 90 percentile barrier, even in your weakest section. So if I am weak at DILR, I should try to score at least 90 percentile. My strength is VARC. I get 98, 99 percentile there. My weakness is in my weak subject is DILR. I try to get 90% minimum, right? So yes, you do require a minimum percentile to get a cutoff and a call from different colleges. So we have a question from Vivek. How many mocks will be a good number? So Vivek, I showed that in my presentation as well. Uh, Generally, CAT exams are in the first week of December or last week of November. So currently it's July. So you have 3 to 4 weeks of Sundays left, 3 weeks of Sundays left. Um, then you have August, then you have September, you have October, you have November. So you have 4 months. So let's say for the first 2.5 months, you are just giving 1 or 2 mocks every Sunday. That brings your total by the end of September to around 12 to 15 mocks, right? Because there will be 10 Sundays. And obviously, I understand not everyone can give on every Sunday a mock exam, but he needs to compensate on some days when he's free. Then in the last 2 months, let's say in October and for the first 15 days of November, try to give at least one mock every second or third day. For the last 10-15 days, it is up to you because you will have your NMATs and other papers, your IIFTs and other exams. Try to complete at least 35 to 40 mocks in the remaining 4 months, which makes around just 10 mocks a month. So that too at a very good stretch. Even if you are able to do 30 mocks and analyze those 30 mocks, it would be perfect for you and you will have a very good hold on your strengths and weakness while going for the CAT exam, right? So I guess I have solved and cleared your doubts to a good extent. If you guys have any other question, you can just leave them on the app and we might take it up. We'll get back to you on that. And we will again be meeting on next Sunday where we will be discussing about the tips and strategies for the DI and LR section. And by the time we have completed these 3 sessions, I hope your score in each section will at least increase by 10 to 15%, which I feel will be a very good uh, from your aspect, and your scores improving will help you later on when solving those mocks and getting the final exam. Till then, thank you guys. Thank you for watching and coming on the Grade App. Thank you.